Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm back with another video. I'm out here in Long Island and I'm heading back to Queens, going to the car shop real quick to get some little things checked out. Basically my hood checked out to see if I can get this panel gap a little bit closer. But I'm gonna do a drive basically from Long Island. This is considered where am I exactly at? I should know that, right? But this is called Kings Point in Long Island. I'm gonna head from Kings Point to Merrick Body Shop, and we're gonna start. Let's see if it starts from the park. There we go, and we're off. So I actually did a video yesterday for you guys and I deleted it by mistake. I was so pissed off. I did a bunch of videos yesterday, recordings and things like that. Sometimes I do, test recordings, because I actually did get a new lens for my Insta 360 Ace Pro 2, which is the cinematic lens. So I was trying that out. I did have another lens. I actually bought the wrong lens. I thought I was buying an ND filter lens, but it was actually a polarizing lens, which didn't help me too much with the sun glare. So right now, until that ND lens comes, I'll try to film in good lighting situations like so, where there's not so much sun glare. But yeah, I was kind of upset that I did a bunch of videos and I just wanted to see the difference of how the cinematic lens looked versus the regular lens versus the other lens, and I ended up basically deleting all of that footage by mistake. And it was because when I was actually recording, it told me that my memory card was full on the camera, so I needed to delete it, and I could have sworn I only selected like 12 old videos, but apparently I must have selected select all and deleted everything. So all of the footage that I got from yesterday, I think I only got 6 videos, which were not any of the videos that I wanted to actually post online. So I did do like a little, with Insta, they have a AI feature that basically takes a bunch of clips from each of the videos that I did do, and I did post that as a short, but I didn't get to do an actual, like a video. What I did talk about or touch on yesterday was that there was a software update. It didn't have anything to do with FSD. It's 2026.14.6, so nothing to do with FSD. It said it's just basically security patches and things like that. So it is what it is. I wish it was a update for FSD to try to fix some of the little issues that there are. Not a lot. One of the things I have noticed, the more and more I drive now, I kid you not, I don't drive as much. The most I do is park. But I've definitely noticed that from the first time I've downloaded this install for FSD, the software installation, till now, is completely night and day. The first day I did that installation of their software for FSD, I noticed a lot of, there was sometimes, people complain about the phantom braking. I was getting that sometimes, but not as much as everyone else. But the main issue that I was getting was the sway back and forth, and then the sway back and forth, and then the smoothness in turns. Like, turns were just not nearly as smooth as it used to be prior to that update. But as I've used FSD, it's definitely gotten better.
Front K-band.
I don't know why it would sit behind this car like that. Surprised. And this brings me to my next point. Of the consistency of where FSD sometimes it throws me for a loop. I don't get it. Any other time, it would have seen that that car had his blinker on, and it would have maneuvered itself out of that lane instead of sitting behind it. But for whatever reason, it chose to sit behind that car. I even hit the blinker on to try to get it over, and it didn't do anything. It just kind of waited. It instead of jumping on that, instead of jumping out of that lane, it waited too long, and then there was a car coming in the right lane, so then it couldn't even do it, so it had to wait for the car in front to go. But that's my biggest problem right now with hardware 3. And I think, I mean, a lot of people complain about it with hardware 4 as well too. I see some videos where it's consistency, where the car will work wonderful. I've had some situations, I even posted a couple of them, where the car handles certain situations really, really well, and it's like, I would think of, out of all of those situations, or certain situations that it's gotten into, that it would actually struggle with those situations, and it actually does it fine. Like last Sunday, I've just finished dropping my daughter off, and I was on a regular side street, and there was just one way each way, one lane each way, and there was a car double parked on the other side, and the car was coming at me, and it came into my lane. And so FSD went to the side, went around that car, and then there was a car in front of me that stopped towards the right. So basically, like, they double parked themselves, but they kind of like did it immediately. And FSD did not even blink. It just moved to the right and then moved to the left for the other car, and it handled the situation perfectly. And I would have thought, of all things, that would have been something to stress it out, but it handled it with no problem. Whereas now we get to something that, to me, I think is much simpler, much easier for it to figure out, and it actually didn't do a good job. And I've seen it handle that same situation plenty of times. That's the same situation that when I had my hardware 4 car, that in Brooklyn on Bushwick Avenue, it did that same thing, because Bushwick Avenue is it's 2 lanes each side, but it's majority of the day only 1 lane, because at certain times you can't park, and then certain times you can park in the second lane. So if somebody is trying to make a left turn, then you're kind of stuck behind them. But as you get close to the intersection, you can maneuver around. So the first time when I came down that block with my hardware 4 car, it kind of like stuck itself behind the car that was turning. But I, disengaged, and I went around, I left a note, and the next time I came down that road, it did the right thing. Same thing happened with my hardware 3 car. I think the first time it did get stuck behind it, and then it went around it, but it doesn't do it anymore. So I'm surprised, like I said, that it just did that just now. But
Speed camera ahead.
That's the biggest problem, is the consistency. And that's it. Is the car can handle situations and it can do things, but it just needs consistency. And if it got better with consistency, and it did everything the same thing all the time, it would be a lot better. Because sometimes it just does simple, silly things. Like there's times I go through a yellow, flashing yellow, and it handles it perfectly fine. And then it's brake stabbing through the yellow, or slowing down to a stop. And it's like super hesitant, but I can literally drive through one 5-10 minutes before, and then it'll just cruise through the blinking yellow, which you don't have to come down to a stop. Only way you would have to come to a stop is if the fire department or the ambulance is coming out of their station. But it's just really inconsistency that's my biggest problem. And inconsistency in lane choice. Lane choice hasn't gotten any better. It's gotten worse, to be honest, from the previous software. That I will tell you is that the lane selection has gotten worse. The lane preparation has gotten better, but the lane selection has gotten worse. I feel like sometimes it's way too far ahead that it's preparing to turn. Like there's times like I'm at the next light will be where I need to turn, but it's putting the turning signal on way before that light. So it's like kind of putting out the wrong information for people. It's putting out the wrong information for people, and they may thinking I'm turning sooner than what I'm really turning, or you know what I'm saying. So it would be nice for it to not prematurely put turning signals on if I'm still have to pass another intersection, because people are going to think that I'm turning at that first intersection when you put your turning signal on. On the highway, the lane selection is horrible, as in a sense it just sometimes gets behind cars that are moving slower, and it's already in a faster lane. So this is going to be an unprotected left here, and it's actually seems like a little bit of a busy area or intersection. So let's see how FSD handles this unprotected left, because we got cars coming on the right hand side, and we have cars on the left hand side, and the right hand side is pretty hard to gauge, but look at that, weighted perfectly and handled it very, very well. Get an A+ for that. Once again, like that's something that I would feel the car would struggle with, but it handled it with no problem. Unprotected lefts. The stop sign is back there, buddy. So the car slammed on its brakes, but I don't blame the car, because that guy came flying through the stop sign. The stop sign is back there, and he's all the way, half of his car is past the stop sign is where he stopped at. So the car doesn't know that he's gonna stop. So it did slam on the brakes. Kudos, because at the end of the day, if that guy would have ran that stop sign, the car would have stopped. So I don't see that as an issue or a fault on FSD. People don't stop at stop signs correctly these days. So this is one of the things that I love. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. And that was a cop. But hey, it pulled out. It had confidence. And let's see a little bit of acceleration to get on the highway.
You are exceeding
Look at that,
the speed.
acceleration to get on the highway. And then it's going to switch lanes. FSD Hardware 3 do not play when it gets on the highway. Does not play at all. So, all right. So, okay, no, it does need to get over. All right, because I was gonna start having a BF, because I was gonna say this is what I'm talking about. Why is it getting in this lane and that lane is moving? But we're getting off at 31 and north south, so it's doing the right thing to get over now, because this lane has got a lot of traffic in it anyway. Let's see if it does handle, because technically this is 2 lanes to exit. Sometimes I notice that it will not like to stay in this secondary lane, should you say. It'll like to get in the furthest lane to the right, which is not always necessary, because sometimes it may put you out of position. So we're going south, so sometimes it'll put me in the north lane, and then now you got to get out of the north lane to get into the south lane. So in this case, once again, it handled it pretty well, because now we're in this lane and we can exit to the south. So pretty good. So far, so good. I don't really that one issue with FSD, but then I felt like it handled that guy kind of like running through that stop sign. Sorry for me getting a little bit loud, but he's waving me because he don't know that the car is driving. But even if I would have stopped, because listen, it looked like you were coming through that stop sign. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if you know that you were supposed to stop. I don't know if you were not paying attention. I don't know anything. So the car basically slammed on its brakes. Like, listen, buddy. So one of the things I do want to give a shout out to is I found on Facebook, I found someone that he made an app, a watch app for Android. His name is Elaine Rivers, and the app is called Teslian app. It is Teslian. It's an app for Android, which is really cool because a watch app for Android, because prior to that, there's a Tesla app. I think it's Teslian or something like that, but it's not like a native app, or it doesn't work like how the phone works. This app so far, once you get it connected, it's real time, because that's one of the issues that I had with Blue Connect when I had the Hyundai, is that you press stuff and it's like you're sending it to the car. So it's not like a real time, or it doesn't seem like it's actually connected to the car. So you have to like send it in. You can send it all you want, but sometimes it might actually not register to the car. So there's like a buffer zone or buffer period for it to actually happen. So with my Hyundai, there would be times that I would turn the car on for to warm up the car, or turn the AC on to cool the car, and I would send the command, but it would never actually go through. It would say it was sent, but it would never actually turn the car on or whatever. So that's how similar the other Tesla app seemed to work for me, where I would press it and you can see it kind of load and it kind of sends it, and it wasn't like real time. So this guy's app, right now you can find it in the Play Store. It is $12.99. I think it's worth it, but it works pretty good. So as in a sense, as long as you're connected and you can set up 5 meters, 10 meters distance of when it's going to be active, and you can set it up to have the front open. You could have quick buttons for the front opening, the trunk opening, passenger door present, driver door present, all doors present. If you have the Model X, I believe it can open your doors, because the Model X has the auto open doors feature. Only issue that I've seen so far with the app is sometimes connecting has seemed to be an issue, but this is a fairly new app. I'm actually testing the app out for him, so of course there's going to be little bugs, a little bit of issues that he's going to work out, but so far when I did get connected and I was using the app was working pretty good. I was able to unlock my car, lock it, present the doors, open the trunk, open the front. You can even set a quick button to open up your charging port, close your charging port. You can even have it to precondition the battery, warm up the car. You can do everything just about basically from the watch, and it's a quick 1, 2, 3. You open your watch, put the what you call it in, and go from there. I'm gonna try to show you what the app looks like. Let me see, Tesla. So this is what the app and what your watch will look like. If you can see the little circle, you have a main screen and a secondary screen, and you can put different selections there. I'll do a little video trying to get to show you a little bit more closer if I can. But yeah, so far the app is good. Like I said, it's in the Play Store, and it is $12.99. I do think it's worth it. $12.99 is a lot, but if you're like me and you drive your car every day and you're in and out of your car, it's really good, because what I do now is I would love to have already had this app prior, but before, what I would have to do is I would use the voice command on my iPhone. So like if I had parts, or if I'm carrying my tool bag and I'm going to my car, I would use voice command to say open Tesla trunk, and yeah, it would open. But it's easier for me to just tap my watch, boop, boop, and just open the trunk, 1, 2, 3. It's kind of the same thing, but it's usually a little bit quicker, and a little bit easier.
Ahead.
But so far so good. We're 11 minutes out from my destination, and it looks like it's gonna rain today. I don't know if it is. It did rain. I mean, I wouldn't say it rained, but it sprinkled some water on my car. earlier today, but it didn't like start pouring, and it stopped immediately. But so far so good. This is kind of like a good day. I wouldn't say a perfect day. If it would be better with a little bit of sun to shoot to record, but we'll take what we can get.
Speed camera
So this
ahead.
guy doesn't know what he wants to do necessarily, because he could have been gotten over.
You are exceeding the speed.
Relax, radar detector. So we're in Queens now. Oh, so look at that, guys. Look at that. The car was dodging that balloon. That's a broken balloon. It looked it and it thought it as it being some type of debris, and it was slowing. It kind of like hit the brakes, and then it slowed down, and then it was gonna go around it, but the balloon flew up, so it proceeded straight. So me personally, I would have, I mean, that's good. I wish it would be focused more on these potholes, because today I hit, well, it's not even a pothole. I hit a storm drain on the highway, which drives me nuts, because some of these storm drains are fine. You can roll over them, and then some of them is like, it's like you're hitting a crater. I thought I was for sure going to pop a tire, and it actually didn't, so I was happy with that. But, and so let's see. See, it should have never gotten to this lane. It should have gotten around, because these people are turning. So now we're gonna get stuck. Hopefully we can get out of the lane. But lane preparation right there was horrible. It should have immediately went into the right lane. What the car does, and what I've noticed what a lot of the cars do, is instead of getting in the furthest lane, it likes to get into the closest lane to which way it's turning. So if it's turning left, it's usually going to get closest to the left lane. If it's turning right, it's going to get closest to the right lane. And when you're turning left like that, usually that lane is the turning lane. So it's probably best, and what it'll do is it'll try to get in that lane and then get over, which in some cases it's not possible, because if the car behind you is already going into that lane, now you kind of get stuck to have to try to get out of that lane, where it should have just went into that lane or automatically. So which way is she gonna go? So I like that. It took that pretty slow. It was a speed bump there. I don't know if it registered that there was a speed bump there, and that's why I proceeded with caution, or was it because it was doing a turn. So a little bit of a complex situation. That stop sign was pretty far out. It's not a normal stop sign intersection, but still handled it pretty good. You're only 4 minutes away. Pretty long light here. It's a nice day today too. Not too hot, not too cold. 68 degrees. I prefer, around 65 to 75. That's usually between there is a little sweet spot for me. See, so you guys can't see it, but they're building that house up from the ground up, and they're using steel, which I definitely remember back in the days they used to use wood. You know, everything used to be wood. This is all steel, which is I figured that a lot of houses go up with steel, but it's just strange to see the house not have wood beams and everything, and it has everything steel. Only thing that sucks about when you have back real quick, the camera did overheat. That damn battery was hot as heck just now. So we're only 4 minutes away, pretty close. But what I was saying about the houses with the metal beams like that is that if you ever want to mount a TV, it's kind of hard to mount a TV because you usually look for a wooden stud, and you mount your TV, you put your anchors in the wooden stud. So it's kind of, I don't know if they technically do the same thing with metal beams, but I would feel like that would raise the issue. But maybe I'm wrong. Oh snap, Popeyes. Haven't had some of that in a while. Over here on Hillside. Let's see where that child is at. So this is kind of like a little bit of an S. So let's see. So see this, I guess because it knows that it needs to make a left. That's why it immediately got into the left lane, which is good. It was thinking about taking it, but what's the rush? It's got a turning signal for the light coming up too. It could have took it. I probably would have taken that gap, but no big deal. People like that are real jackasses. Sorry, excuse my language.
Speed camera ahead.
I nudged it because that guy behind me was definitely impatient. The car is gonna wait exactly for the green light instead of just going on the yellow. Which, once again, now that I think of it, I probably would have went on the yellow too. I would have never got into the bus lane and then had to get out. It's once again, but the consistency. I feel like sometimes it does. I don't know how it knows certain things. The way the car reacts to certain things, you would think that it is reading, right? Like it's reading signs or it sees certain things the way it reacts. But I'm not sure if it actually does do that, because it shouldn't have went into the bus lane, because it should already know that bus lanes, it shouldn't be going in bus lanes, especially if it has the bus lanes insignias on it. I mean, it says bus, you know, bus only. So I don't know if it is reading those signs. I don't know if hardware 3 does that. I know that hardware 4 does, but once again, I've seen people talk about how it will get certain things right and then not get them right. So I don't know if it's what's the reasoning for it. Is it reading first and then making its mind up? What's the chain of command? What does it go to first? Is it all GPS based off of what the GPS says, or does it read the signs or read the signs on the floor or stop signs and read the green and stuff like that and make its decision? Or does it go by what GPS is saying? If GPS is saying that there's a lane there, but of course in GPS the lanes are not marked as a bus lane rather. So that would be cool to figure out what their chain of command is. And how is this person's, let me see if I could zoom in. That person's can't see them. I can't see them on this preview, but their rear view mirror is so crooked and slanted. Like, you're not seeing anything, ma'am. Can't see anything behind you the way that mirror is. Look like she's got it turned to do her makeup, not actually drive. And I hate coming down here by this area, which is like considered Jamaica, Queens. It's slowed down. I don't know why. I guess because that guy was there. But I hate coming to this area because it is always so much traffic, and these roads are horrible as well too. Yeah, it gets, sometimes it does get annoying because it doesn't know what people are going to do. That guy was in the back of his car getting something out of the trunk, but the way he made the movement, he was walking to the back of the trunk. So the car must have seen him and thought he was going to walk into the street. So it kind of like started to get on the brakes, but he wasn't actually walking out. But the car doesn't necessarily know that. So some people don't like that. I mean, I get it. It is annoying. It's a pain in the butt. But the car is always gonna side on safety. What are you doing, buddy? You waited to the bus to go to actually try to turn, and we could go around, sir. Okay, so the car is actually trying to maneuver some of these disgusting potholes, and I'm gonna take over. I'm gonna get in the bus lane for a second here because the shop is right here. Probably a pull out of the way, but if you guys want to see more videos, you guys know the deal by now. Like and subscribe. You'll see the little links up front. You could like and subscribe. Thank you, and I'll be back with another video later.